Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome to Kids Krishna Katha. And let's start, everybody. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Napastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Sanjavadi Takshachwala Shatari Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Sanjavadi Takshachwala Shatari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaurav-bhakta-vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaurav-bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
सरस्वता श्री ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर गौर श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर जी की जय, श्री राधा गिरिधारी भगवान की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the Assembly devotee, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Assembly devotee, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Assembly devotee, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to the Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru.
Hare Krishna everybody, good to see you all again. Welcome back to Kids Krishna Katha and thank you for joining us here where we glorify Lord Krishna and hear about his pastimes. Today the verse that we are going to be looking at is in Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 29. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sutta uvacha Shrutva Bhagavata Proktam Falguna Paraviraha Sprishtva Pastam Parikramya Brahmam Brahmastram Sandade. Sutta Goswami Uvacha said, Shrutva, after hearing, Bhagavata, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Pruktam, what was said, Falguna, another name of Sri Arjuna, Paraviraha, the killer of the opposing warrior, Sprishtva, after touching, Apaha, water, Tam, him, Parikramya, circumambulating, Brahmam, the Supreme Lord, Brahma Astram, the supreme weapon, Sandhadhe, acted on. Translation. Sri Sutta Goswami said, hearing this from the personality of Godhead, Arjuna touched water for purification and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one. So we will be looking into this verse today or next week in more detail, but to just give you the idea of what's happening, I will give you a brief explanation that Ashwathama has released his Brahmastra towards Arjuna, and now Arjuna is turning to Krishna for his help. And why Ashwathama has released the Brahmastra is what we're going to learn later. So here it says that Arjuna touched water for purification, and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one. Now Arjuna was a very expert in these kinds of things. After all, his guru was Dronacharya and he was his favorite pupil, and he practiced very, very hard and he had extra lessons. And he was expert in these things. So he already knew how to counteract, how to withdraw, and how to release a Brahmastra weapon and many other weapons. But he still turned to Krishna for his guidance and for his blessings. In these previous chapters, we see that how when Vyasadeva is feeling despondent after writing so many scriptures, he turns to Narad Muni for his guidance and his advice and his blessings. And also in the Ramayana, which many of you may know, Lord Ram, accompanied by his brothers and Vishwamitra, when he goes to Sita's Swayamvar, he prays to Shiva's bow, which he has to pick up and break. So when he prays to Shiva's bow, he is actually praying to Lord Shiva and respecting him, even though he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he can do anything. So this shows us that we should always take guidance of our authorities and our teachers, and especially our parents, even if we are 100% sure that whatever we are doing is correct, especially when we are about to do something very big. Another thing that we touched upon last time was that we should always respect our parents and our guru, because without respect, we never move forward in our material or spiritual life. So we should always take guidance from our authorities, our teachers and our parents and our guru, and always take their blessings from them. And this is what Arjuna is doing. And this is what he is showing us. If you were here last time, so last Thursday, you may know that I was doing a quiz. I was conducting a quiz after chapter 6. But we weren't able to finish all the questions. So today, we will finish all the questions and then move on. So, the 9th question is, what did Narad Muni see? A. Lord Krishna in his heart. B. Lord Krishna in the tree. C. Lord Krishna in the sky. So remember, this chapter is all about Narad Muni narrating his life story, his previous life, about how he was a maidservant's son. And he had been enlightened by the sages who had come to his house. And he had eaten their remnants of prasadam, which had become Maha Prasadam. And then his mother had been bitten by a snake. So then he had wandered off to many places, many different places. And he had gone around chanting the holy names of the Lord. So what did Narad Muni see? A. Lord Krishna in his heart. B. Lord Krishna in the tree. C. Lord Krishna in the sky. So I'll just get my paper to note down the notes. So was anybody there last time? Or you can just give it a guess, even if you are new or you weren't here last time. So I'll repeat the question. What did Narad Muni see? A. Lord Krishna in his heart. B. Lord Krishna in the tree. C. Lord Krishna in the sky. This was when he was sitting under the banyan tree to meditate. Yes, I've got some answers. Thank you very much. So I'll note that down. Let's see if they're correct. Anybody else? Okay. Question number 2. The Lord then disappeared. What did Narad Muni do? A. He continued building a home. B. Tried to see him again and again. C. Found something to eat and drink. He had been traveling for days and days without any food and water. So do you think that the third option could be correct? Or did he start building a home? Or did he try to see Krishna again and again? Which one do you think? So I'll say it again. Then Lord Krishna disappeared. What did Narad Muni do? A. Continued building a home. B. Tried to see him again and again. C. Found something to eat and drink. Two more answers. Yes, very good. Now, question number 3. Did Krishna reappear? A. Yes, every time Narada called him. B. No, he never saw or heard Krishna again. C. Not visually, but he spoke to Narada. So, the first option is yes, every time Narada called him. Do you think Krishna could have appeared every time that Narada called him? After all, Narada is a great devotee of Lord Krishna, so that can be possible. What do you think? So, did Krishna reappear? Yes, every time Narada called him. B. No, he never saw or heard Krishna again. C. Not visually, but he spoke to Narada. What do you think it is? I've got one answer. Anybody else? Or we'll just move on to the next question. Okay, I'll just say it one more time and then I'll continue. Okay, got one more. Okay. Why was it hard for him to see Krishna? Because his eyes were blurred from crying? A. B. Because he still had material desires and wasn't always engaged in Krishna's service. C. He was too young to engage in Krishna's devotional service. So, again, why was it hard for him to see Krishna? A. Because his eyes were blurred from crying. B. Because he still had material desires and wasn't always engaged in Krishna's service. C. He was too young to engage in Krishna's devotional service. This is a question to think about. Does it vary what age you are when you are doing Krishna's service? What do you think about it? You can sure tell me your answer. You'll get an extra point. So, does it really matter what age you are, or what culture you are from, or anything like that when you are serving Krishna and engaged in his devotional service? I don't see any answers popping up. Okay, yes, I saw one. Okay, yes. So Srimad Prabhuji, you said that B, he still had material desires. Did Narada still have material desires? Did he really have material desires? And remember, to answer this question, does devotional service vary about what age you are? So if you are a certain age, if you are too old or too young, you can't do devotional service? Is that true? Okay, number 4. Why then did Krishna let Narada see him at all if he still had material desires? So that proves that all your answers are correct. Well done. Why then did Krishna let Narada see him at all if he still had material desires? A. So he could remember him and would hanker to see him more and more. So the word hanker is very important. B. Krishna forgot that he still had some material desires. C. He didn't really see Krishna. So again, why then did Krishna let Narada see him at all if he still had material desires? A. So he could remember him and would hanker to see him more and more. B. Krishna forgot that he still had some material desires. C. He didn't really see Krishna. Ratnavali Mataji wrote, at any age one can do devotional service. Yes, correct. So devotional service does not matter at all. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and even here, Narad Muni in his previous life, they all practiced devotional service from a very young age, the age of 5. And Prabhupada says that this is the ideal age for one to start devotional service and learn about Krishna. Okay. Right, moving on to the next question. Number 14. Why did Krishna promise that Narada would join him in the spiritual world? A. Because Narada served Krishna with devotion. B. Because Krishna felt bad seeing Narada cry so much. C. Because Narada had travelled so far. So why did Krishna promise that Narada would join him in the spiritual world? So remember, he had made this promise. A. Because Narada served Krishna with devotion. B. Because Krishna felt bad seeing Narada cry so much. C. Because Narada had travelled so far. Anybody? Ratnavali Mataji, I heard that the devotional service of the parents are also the kids' devotional service. Yes, Mataji. Completely correct. Okay, I got one answer. Wow, Srimad Prabhuji, you're very fast. Whoops, sorry. Okay, one more. And just waiting for you, Ratnavali Mataji. Yes, got it. Okay, now the second last question. 15. How could Narada remember Krishna in his next life? A. Good memory. B. He would practice not being forgetful. C. Krishna's mercy. So remember, Narada had the power to look into his previous lives. So how could he do that? Because he had good memory. He could practice not being forgetful. Krishna's mercy. Present example, Nandini doing devotional service. Yeah, yes, this is all by all the devotees' mercy and my parents' blessings and my guru's blessings. So thank you very much for engaging me in this activity. Just waiting for your answer, Nandini Banerjee. Yes, got it. Now, the last question is, what did Narada do after that? A. Chanted in palaces. B. Travelled everywhere chanting the holy names of the Lord. C. Travelled everywhere telling everyone that he'd seen Krishna. So A. Chanted in palaces. B. Travelled everywhere chanting the holy names of the Lord. C. Travelled everywhere telling everyone that he'd seen Krishna. Okay, I've got one, now two. The points are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the last one. Well done, you completed the quiz. That was 16 questions. We had done 8 last time and we did 8 today. So let me add up the points and I will let you know. But some people did them last week, so it doesn't really count, but I'll still just tell you the answers. So Sumit Prabhuji, you have got 32 points over these two quiz sessions. That means you have got every single question correct, all 16 of them. Ratnavali Mataji, I'm just going to count yours. Ratnavali Mataji, you have got 17 points. And Munish Prabhu has got 6 points. Vishnupati Mataji, you have got 24 points. And Krishnakanta, you've got 4 points. And Somali Mataji has got has got 14 points, and Radha Padma Mataji has got 12 points. So well done everybody, but Sumit Prabhuji is the winner. Congratulations and Hare Krishna.
Well done,
Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Samtabji.
Sumit Prabhuji, hopefully the devotional prize gets bigger and bigger too. Oh yes, I'm thinking on that one actually. I'm thinking of what I should give the winners. We will be giving Mahaprasadam from Sri Sri Radhagiridhari to those who are actively participating in the quiz. Ratnavali Mataji, that is a great idea. Also a great way to attract people more to Krishna consciousness. Okay, so we have finished the quiz of chapter 6 and now we are going to be moving on to chapter 7. So let's see what unfolds in chapter 7. So, in chapter 7, this is how it goes. After instructing Vyasadeva to write about Krishna, Narad Muni departed. So this is what we learned in chapter 6. Vyasadeva was feeling much more hopeful now. So he sat down in his ashram surrounded by beautiful berry trees and began to meditate. While meditating, he thought of Lord Krishna. Then something amazing happened. He saw that Lord Krishna was in control of the whole material world. He also saw that the people are actually really happy spirit souls, but the dark cloudy material world is covering them so much that they have forgotten who they are and they have become really miserable. So Vyasadeva is describing us. We are very miserable due to the cloud of material existence, that we have forgotten our true identity as true spirit souls. I know, thought Vyasadeva, the secret is that if the people serve Lord Krishna, then he can protect them from the dark, cloudy material world. It is his external energy. So Krishna has external energy and internal energy. So the material manifestation is his external energy. Yes, Vyasadeva continued to think, I will write about Krishna and call the book Srimad Bhagavatam. Whoever hears these stories will surely love Krishna so much that they will want to serve him, and then they will never feel sad, disillusioned or scared ever again. So he decided to write Srimad Bhagavatam, which we are studying right now. Therefore Vyasadeva wrote down the pastimes of Lord Krishna and then taught these to his own son Sukadeva Goswami, who was already free from the dark, cloudy material world. He was already happy, but hearing about Krishna made him even happier. So he taught all that he had learned to Sukadeva Goswami. And there's also a separate story about that. How when Sukadeva Goswami, when he was born, he just ran away from his home, completely detached and not wanting to become attached. But as he was going, he heard two men reciting these wonderful shlokas, and he was so attracted to them. So he went up to them and asked, "Who has taught you these wonderful shlokas?" And they said that the great sage Vyasadeva has taught us these shlokas. So Sukadeva Goswami then realized his mistake and came running to his father. And then Vyasadeva, feeling very happy and joyful, then told everything that he had learned to Sukadeva Goswami. And Sukadeva Goswami, who was already detached, became even more attracted to Lord Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami then said to the sages, "I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Bhagavatam. It all began when the battle of Kurukshetra between the evil Kauravas and the saintly Pandavas had ended. The evil Duryodhan was lying on the ground with a broken spine and mourning because his Kaurava army had lost the battle. Ashwathama was the son of Dronacharya, a Brahmana, and he was also on the side of the Kauravas. I can't bear to see my master Duryodhan so defeated, he thought while seeing Duryodhan lying on the ground. Ashwathama then angrily snuck into the Pandavas' camp and did something very terrible. Do you know what he did? He saw the 5 poor defenseless sons of the Pandavas sleeping in their beds, and he chopped off their heads. So this is such a heinous act. Even in those times, in Kshatriya rules, this was absolutely unacceptable. First of all, he was killing 5 people at once when they were lying in bed asleep, and coming at night in a tent. So how heinous must that be? So then he ran back to Duryodhan and showed his master what he had done, thinking that Duryodhan would be pleased. But oh no! Even Duryodhan disapproved this cowardly act, and he wasn't pleased in the least. So even Duryodhan, who was a very demoniac ruler and king, even he thought this so bad. So imagine if Duryodhan, who is such a bad person, thinks this to be even worse, how bad must that be? Ashwatthama sneaking into a camp tent at night and murdering the defenseless sons of Draupadi. Meanwhile, Draupadi, the mother of the Pandavas, had just discovered that her sons were killed. She was so overcome with grief that she cried and cried. When her husband Arjuna learnt about this, he was upset and he tried to comfort her. "My dear wife, Draupadi," he said, "I am going to chase that Ashwatthama and sever his head and bring it back to you." Saying this, he dressed in his armor, prepared his weapons, and then set off in his chariot with Lord Krishna as his driver to chase the evil Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama saw Arjuna in the distance coming towards him with great speed, and he started to panic. He quickly boarded his own chariot and tried to get his horses to gallop as fast as possible to save his very own life. But soon they became tired. What was he to do? So now Arjuna is after Ashwatthama, and Ashwatthama's horses aren't wanting to run anymore. And he can't do anything. He can't escape. And he knows that Arjuna at this point is furious. He is enraged. And so he is so enraged that he is even in the state to kill Ashwatthama. Arjun had almost caught up with him, and he would definitely be killed because his horses didn't want to run anymore. Ashwatthama was very desperate to save his life, so he foolishly chanted some mantras to invoke the most devastating weapon of all, the fiery Brahmastra, even though he didn't know how to withdraw it. So Ashwatthama, he had no choice but to do this because he wanted to save his life. And he hadn't learned how to withdraw the Brahmastra. And actually, so Dronacharya was his father, and he was the teacher of all the Kauravas and Pandavas and many other princes and kings. And only Arjun had been taught this Brahmastra because he was capable of using it. And Dronacharya knew that Arjun would only use it in times of need. And Ashwatthama also wanted to learn it. He said to his father that, "Father, you have given the mantra to Arjun, so why can't you give it to me? After all, I am your son." So Dronacharya gave the mantra to Ashwatthama, not out of capability, but out of maternal affection, out of bodily relations, because he was so attached to his son. So he had taught Ashwatthama how to release the Brahmastra, but he hadn't taught him how to withdraw it. That means take it back. So when this fiery Brahmastra arrow was released, a glaring light spread in all directions and began to burn the whole world. Arjun became fearful, so he turned to his dear Lord Krishna. "My Lord, only you can stop this devotee's feelings. Only you can stop your devotees feeling scared. And I know you constantly protect the devotees who always think about you. Where is this burning light coming from? I don't understand what's happening." So as we see in the shloka, Arjun is now turning to Krishna for his help. Krishna smiled at his dear devotee and explained, "This is Ashwatthama's foolish doing. He invoked the devastating Brahmastra weapon because he was scared for his life, but he doesn't know how to stop it. My dear Arjun, you know how to stop it. If you release another Brahmastra to counteract it, you can then withdraw both of them." So Arjuna circumambulated Lord Krishna and then shot another fiery Brahmastra. The two Brahmastras combined and created a great circle of fire around the whole universe, and it was very hot. I hope all of you are making a connection. What is the connection? That Parikshit Maharaj, Abhimanyu's son, was also, when he was in Uttara's womb, he was also destroyed by Ashwatthama's Brahmastra. Remember? But he was given a new body by Lord Krishna, as we have discussed. He then quickly withdrew both the Brahmastras, and all the danger had gone. The meek Ashwatthama was standing before him, shivering in fright. There was nothing he could do now. So Arjun, after listening, to Lord Krishna had done this. So only after circumambulating him and asking for his guidance, as we see in the shloka, he had released his Brahmastra, and then he withdrew both of them, and all the harm had gone. Arjun looked at him angrily with eyes blazing like two red balls of copper. Oh, I actually forgot this. So Vrindavan Mataji, who gave initiation to Narada? And Srimad Prabhuji has replied, Hare Krishna Mataji, it was Lord Brahma. Bhagavad Gita disciplic succession page. Wow, this is really good, telling each other answers and discussing about things. Srimad Prabhuji, well done. That means you have seen the disciplic succession on the Bhagavad Gita page. So yes, there is a disciplic succession, and I don't remember from the top of my head, but there is around 32 people in that disciplic succession. Am I right? And the last one is, the first one is Krishna, and all the way down is Srila Prabhupada. And all this information, this Bhagavad Gita has been given as it is. That's why our Bhagavad Gita is called Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, you are correct, Srimad Prabhuji. And great question, Vrindavan Mataji. So, Arjun looked at him angrily with eyes blazing like two red balls of copper. He grabbed the foolish son of a Brahmana and bound him with ropes, just like an animal. And what Arjun did with Ashwatthama is what we are going to look at next time. So for now, let's proceed to the quiz. So, the first question is, how can people be protected from the dark, cloudy, material world? A. Serve Lord Krishna. B. Use an umbrella. C. Hide under a banyan tree. That's a very simple one. So, while you are giving your answers, I will just read a few very nice descriptions in this book about each of these characters. So, again, I'll just say the question. How can people be protected from the dark, cloudy material world? A. Serve Lord Krishna. B. Use an umbrella. C. Hide under a banyan tree. Okay, I've got lots of answers now. Okay. Alright, now, second question is, if we hear the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, we will love Krishna and never again ever feel A. Sad. B. Disillusioned. C. Scared. That's a little tricky one. So we will never feel sad, we will never feel disillusioned, we will never feel scared. Now, while you are typing in your answers, I will just say this. Lord Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the friend and chariot driver of Arjun. Yudhishthir, who is the eldest brother of the 5 Pandavas, he was the king of the earth 5,000 years ago, the eldest of the Pandava brothers, the son of Kunti, and is also Yamaraj, the lord of death. Bhima, an expert club fighter, son of Kunti and Vayu, the wind god. Arjun, the famous archer of the Pandavas. His father was Indra, the king of heaven, and his mother was Kunti Devi. Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to him on the battlefield. Nakula and Sahadev, the youngest of the Pandava brothers, sons of Madri and the heavenly physicians, the Ashwini Kumaras. Draupadi, the wife of the Pandava brothers, daughter of King Drupal of Panchala, so is sometimes referred to as Panchali. She is known for her unflinching faith, surrender, and devotion to Lord Krishna. So many of you may know the story of Durvasa Muni and the magic pot, which I might actually narrate one day, according to how you wish. So, and then Ashwatthama, the son of the Brahmana Drona. Ashwatthama was born with a jewel on his forehead, giving him strength, beauty, and fame. A Kaurava general. So Ashwatthama was born with a jewel on his forehead, which gave him his strength and fame and beauty and power. Please repeat the question. Okay. If we hear the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, we will love Krishna and never again ever feel A. sad, B. disillusioned, C. scared. I'll just record the answers. I hope you got that, Ratnavali Mataji, or should I repeat it again? So if we hear the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, we will never again feel A. sad, B. disillusioned, C. scared. So I'll make a mental note in my brain to narrate the story of Draupadi and Krishna and the Rasa Muni and the magic pot. So does anybody know the answer to this question? It's actually pretty hard. I will just check the answer. Okay, so Shravani Mataji did B and Shravani Mataji did B. So what is B? Disillusion. Yes, so I will just quickly A, 2, D. All right. I will check on the answers next time, and I will also tell the story of the pot next time. So today, to conclude, I'd like to say that today we learned about how we should always take guidance from our teachers and our parents and our guru, and always respect them, no matter what. Even if we know that whatever we are doing is correct, 100% correct, we should always ask them for their advice and what they think of it, and always take their blessings. And I've also heard that when we take blessings from our elders and when we touch their feet, whatever good karma they have accumulated during their many lives is transferred to us. So imagine how much good karma we are getting from just touching our elders' feet. But we don't just touch our elders' feet and respect them to get all their good karma. This is just a byproduct of serving Lord Krishna and pleasing Lord Krishna. Just like when devotees engage in Krishna's pure devotional service, they accumulate all good qualities which are just byproducts which come with the package. So thank you very much everyone today. I hope you took a very important lesson from this story today, and I hope to see you next time again, and we will continue the story of Arjun and Ashwatthama and the magical pot, and of course the rest of the quiz answers. Thank you very much everybody for coming again, and thank you. Hare Krishna.